So one source of this kind of information is sexual abuse. Okay, children get to know about sex because they are being exposed to it by adults. That is how they get it. Now, children learn about sex from careless adults. Okay, the carelessness of adults is responsible for some of the kinds of information that children get. So sometimes children actually see the kinds of things that the adults do in the night. When they think that the children are asleep, they're not asleep, they're watching. Now, exposure to movies, pornographic material, and so on, these are also factors. So adult conjugal roles are sometimes conferred on children. And this is normal in many Ghanaian communities. So, for example, it's normal to refer to a little girl as my wife, just as it is normal for a woman to refer to a little boy as my husband. So they begin to understand the differences between the sexes and so on and so forth. But let's not also forget that there is an attempt to teach sex education in the classrooms. We have to understand that pornographic materials circulate in the schools. This is clear, okay? Children do send pornographic materials to a classroom. So if this is so, maybe the education authorities ought to sit up and see what can be done about this. Now, if it is true that children hanker for information on reproductive health, they want it, okay? They desire it. Maybe we should find a way of providing this to 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds. Now, primary school children tend to practice what they learn. Sometimes their teachers are also involved. So a certain amount of sexual misbehavior obtains even the primary school. And there have been media accounts. I haven't got that here, but I could have produced that. I've got that on my computer, you see, of cases where one little kid has succeeded in impregnating 6 of his classmates, okay? P6 kid. So these kinds of things do happen. When people learn these things, they try to experiment. Maybe we need to do something about that. And finally, there is a point about pedophilia, which involves abuse of infants. And as the previous presenter made it clear, it begins to look as if we ignore that. You see, we don't consider that as of importance, okay? That a boy can be abused by a woman. And yet, as far as I'm concerned, this is also something that we should take seriously, we should think seriously about, whether we should stop it, whether it doesn't have repercussions on these kinds of children who are prematurely exposed to direct sexual activities. So thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen.